Okay, folks, here we go again. Articles of freedom. Hope I haven't lost count. I'll find out real soon. Let me just refresh my page here and go to my videos. Doesn't show the entire title on the my videos page, so okay, it is number 14. Right? Okay, it's recording, so I'm going to go ahead and start. Again, people, this document has a lot of okay links. You can get extra material. So we're looking at 15 now. All right. All right. We left off where the revitalization of all the militias of each of the several states to some uniform standard of organization, arms, and discipline. Number 4. The Advisory Commission shall be composed of the following persons. Here shall be listed the proposed members of the Commission. The advisory number 5. The advisory commission shall submit a preliminary report to the legislature within 90 days of the enactment of the said statute. This report shall contain inter alia a detailed study with specific recommendations as to how the militia can and should be revitalized, with particular emphasis on those areas of homeland security. Homeland, the Reichsstaat, the Fatherland. I just don't like that name. Smacks of other times, which has got a stink to it and more than what's needed, but we can't address those issues. All right. All right. With particular emphasis on those areas of homeland security which at that time are within the jurisdiction of the General Government's Department of Homeland Security, DHS, but the responsibility and authority for the provision of which the Advisory Commission believes can effectively be exercised within the state or by the militia thereof. Within 30 days of its receipt of that report, the legislature shall return the report to the Commission with such directives as it may see fit for alterations, corrections, amendments, additions, deletions, and further studies and recommendations. On the basis of legislature's review, within 30 days thereafter, the Advisory Commission shall submit to the legislation a final report, including complete and specific drafts of all state legislation and recommendations for any congressional legislation necessary for revitalization of the militias of the state. Why is that important? Well, number one, defense of our republic. But number two, it would be structured in such a way as the regular armed forces. So if we have a well regulated militia in this country, we wouldn't have a need for Obama's private army of brown shirts. Where he's wanting a standing army even greater than what is formally known as our military branches of service. So if everybody was on board in America as far as ensuring the safety and the future of America, we wouldn't need to have kids and things going into harm's way. It could be us adults who deal with the issues and bear the brunt for our young. Even though I have no young, it still applies to everybody who does. You're doing this for your children and your grandchildren. I'm doing this as a duty and as an honor. So, different thing, but we all have the same goals. All right. Upon receipt of the Advisory Commission's final report, the legislature shall without delay, in any event no more than 30 days later, adopt such report with such amendments as the legislature may deem proper, and then enact such legislation based on such amended report as will most effectively and expeditiously revitalize the militia. Furthermore, the legislation by resolution shall urge the congressional delegation of said state to introduce and support legislation in Congress that adopts the recommendations presented in the Advisory Commission's final report as amended. All right, the term militia, inherently separate from the state National Guard, means constitutional defense force, comprising all citizenry capable of bearing arms and hitting what they aim at, and under proper authority in defense of themselves and the states. C. Now, here it gets into our responsibility as the people. C. Recommended civic actions by the people. Whereas the Second Amendment mandates that the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and whereas natural law affirms the right to defense of one's life and property, and whereas citizens are reminded that the U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and that state laws repugnant to the Second Amendment are null and void, including but not limited to illegal and unconstitutional restrictions on open and or concealed carry. Therefore, we, the Continental Congress 2009, declare that a proper method to counter federal usurpation of said rights is to encourage the people of each of the several states to study and exercise their right to keep and bear arms, and to engage in the following civic actions. Now, we've had some stuff going on here in Maine lately. Well, what would have happened if these people breaking into these houses had been met by a homeowner with hell, they wouldn't even have to have lethal loads. Put a load of rock salt in the damn crap. That way, when the person goes to soak in the tub to try to ease it, whoa, it don't ease it when you got rock salt in you. It burns even worse. So, there's a way to deter crime. And we can make it so there's no need for anybody to commit crime unless they just have a mental imbalance of some kind. Anyway, meet with your county sheriff and ask for assistance and guidance in establishing a constitutional militia. I've already said that. And I'll say it again. The term militia, inherently separate from the state National Guard, means constitutional defense force. Constitutional defense force. Compromising all citizenry capable of bearing arms and under proper authority in defense of themselves and the state. Converse, build coalitions and develop networks of communication with like-minded organizations concerning the importance of constitutional militias, preparedness, and the protection of our right to keep and bear arms. 3. Lobby state legislatures to induce and or pass a version of what is commonly referred to as the Firearms Freedom Act. 4. Utilize existing Second Amendment scorecards on each of their representatives. Let me check my time. Almost out. I'll kill it here and see you on 16.